Not doing your maths homework could bankrupt you? In the early 2000s, Blythe Masters came up with a scheme in which wealthy investors can bet on thousands of mortgages at a time to see if they default, not pay, them. Every month, the banks would pay investors large amounts of money for nothing. And if a high percentage of the mortgages betted on defaulted, then the investors would have to pay the banks large amounts of money instead. But the investors used maths to figure out that if they did do this scheme, they would get billions of pounds. They realised that the probability of one person defaulting on their mortgage was around 1/10. Then the probability of two people defaulting would be 1/10 times 1/10, which was a rule in maths. The probability of two unrelated events, known as independent events, happening at the same time would be the probability of both events multiplied by each other. And it's the same with more than two events. In this case, the probability of most of the thousands of people defaulting at the same time would be 1/10 to the power of 700, almost zero. So this meant that the investors would just keep getting monthly payments from the banks forever, right? Well, the thing is, Blythe Masters worked for the banks and actually knew people would think this, which is why she came up with a scheme. You see, the more people that default on their mortgage, the more the banks would have to increase their interest rates, leading to higher mortgages and more people defaulting, which meant that the events in which people defaulted on their mortgages are not independent as they directly influence each other, meaning that the maths behind the investors' logic was wrong, which ended up costing the investors billions of dollars in debt, leading to the 2008 financial crisis. So next time, do your maths homework, because not doing your maths homework could bankrupt you?